Okay, so welcome to Pure Truth Podcast. I'm your host and producer, Lucas Bealey. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you are notified when I go live. Before I get started in this, buy my book. This book is called Bealey, a Comedy Series Season 1. I named it Bealey, my last name, because it is based off of, God bringing me out of my Egypt into my promised land. And I'm not quite at my promised land yet. But, so part of it, so as you can see, it's going to be a series. This is season 1. So this is the only season that I have right now, is season 1. That's the only season that I have out right now. I'm working on season 2, but, collectively, with all the seasons together, collectively, once the others get out, um, you know, after I've worked on them, finished them, and published them, uh, it will become collectively a comedy series, right? So get that, check that out. And by the way, so once you kind of get towards the end, it's kind of, will be, kind of like almost a little bit of prophecy, like kind of like a prophecy of, you know, what is to come, what the Lord is doing and all that. It's a comedy, so it is funny, but it's also, what the Lord is doing. So parts and pieces of it is a testimony. So I hope you get the book, enjoy it. I have it in the link in the chat. I have the link in the chat that you can go and get it from Amazon. That's the only place where you can get it is Amazon. So click that link and get it at Amazon. I hope you do that, after this, live stream. Or if you're watching this video after this live is over, you can do that. So let's get started. So the topic that I have for tonight, and by the way, I do plan, I know right now I'm, on fire, making live stream after live stream after live stream. I do plan to scale down a little bit at some point and just only, hopefully only do 1 or 2 live streams a day. Obviously, yeah, for like just about each day of the week. But so right now I've been going live like 2, maybe even 3 times. Today I've gone live. This would be the 3rd time. I do plan to scale down. It's just I don't know. Right now I'm kind of in a area where I'm kind of just haven't been able to sit still, and so maybe there's a reason for that. maybe God is saying, "Hey, I want you to move, 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 move." Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just right now I have not been able to sit still. I've just been, so that's the reason why I've been live so many times. And so, but hopefully I do plan to scale down a little bit. I do have, like each day of the week, hopefully starting soon, um, I will have a topic for each day. I've already started doing Revelation, talking about the book of Revelation for Thursdays. Um, and I don't know, maybe starting Monday, every single Monday, I will do the NFL or, NFL slash sports slash Bears because they're my favorite team. And I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, I'm not totally decided on that yet, but I don't know. I might, just go ahead and try to put that in my schedule um, tonight, actually, maybe. So that way I can kind of just get started um, on going live one topic a day for just about every day of the week. Um, and and then if I go live a second or third time, it's probably not planned. It's just I'm in this like, hey, I just gotta move, do something, you know. Um, I need to get into the habit of getting back to creating more short films. Um, that might help with some of this craziness, like restlessness, and if you're a brother or sister of mine in Christ, be praying for that. Um, I don't know. It's just that's the reason why I've gone live so many times already is because I'm kind of I don't know. So be praying about that. Is there evidence for the flood, the Genesis flood, the flood that happened in Genesis? So, um, not too long ago, in fact, today, I found a video. It was actually a short film. I found a short film, and I'm not going to say who the short film was by and all that, but I saw a short film and it was super cool. So they were fine. They in the short film they described, and it's a scientist, geologist. It's all the above in the field of science. Somebody in the field of science um, is also a diver, and they were describing how they found um, wood bark, wood bark, in depths of like 1,000 or more feet in the ocean or in some kind of like sea, like inside the sea or ocean. I forget where they said, but they were finding tree bark thousands of feet, maybe 1,000 or two. I kind of forget, how many feet, but thousands of feet down um, below sea level, like in the sea, in the ocean, and it was embedded into the rock or whatever was down there. Um, and then I read some of the comments, and I kind of have to laugh at some of the comments because there was one comment that said or that suggested that, well, no, it's not that, it's actually the tree bark that turned into coal. Well, guess what? I think that's a little comical, and I will tell you why later after you hear this. Yeah, okay, that's a little comical because if you know anything about um, life, about you know, all you have to do is apply logic, right? Let's apply logic to this. Let's not just dream up of things out of our brains. Let's not let our brains run wild with imagination. Let's use logic. And so logically, you cannot get a cat from a dog. Likewise, a piece of coal, you cannot get a piece of coal from tree bark. Tree bark does not instantly, or even after millions of years, does not turn into coal. You do not get coal from tree bark. And that was one of the comments that I read in the short film. And again, joke's on them because you cannot get coal from tree bark. Uh, that's impossible. That's what I'm saying is it is impossible. You cannot get a dog from a cat, and likewise, you cannot get coal from a tree bark. So, jokes on them, and exactly, I'm on fire. On fire today because you just can't do it. You cannot do it. It is impossible. Tell me where that is possible. Tell me where it is possible that you can magically get tree bark to turn into coal. Now it can turn into ash, but then ash eventually um, or well, not exactly the word that I'm thinking of, but ash, you know, eventually it turns into um, dirt or whatever ash turns into. Um, so it can, but for tree bark to turn into ash, it has to have fire. I mean, a tree bark is not going to turn itself into ash, and water is not going to turn tree bark into ash. But guess what? A fire will. A fire will turn tree bark into ash. Exactly. Because only fire can turn tree bark into ash. So it is impossible for a tree bark in water to turn into ash. But that's not their argument. Their argument from that comment was that, oh, from millions of years, it turned into coal. And it's actually tree bark stuck into the coal or, whatever. That is impossible. Sorry. That is impossible. So the only evidence that you can say here is that it was deposited, that tree bark was deposited there during the Genesis flood. During the Genesis flood. Exactly. So you can tell, oh man, I'm going off. I'm just going off. Like that's I mean, using logic, and that's what we got to use. Using logic. If you like think about this. Think about this. It like we know that a natural disaster like fires, a volcano erupting, that will change the um that will change the ground. That will, like a volcano erupting. uh I don't know exactly what it does, but I don't I know I'm not a genius, but it will change, things. um a volcano will take out trees. It will take out, and so we see where a natural disaster happens. What about a global disaster, right? What about a global wide disaster? We so basically take the natural disasters that happen today and think about a global disaster, right? And so something that they will claim wiped out the dinosaurs was a natural disaster, right? Well, they're saying that that was global wide, right? But when you talk about the flood, they don't want to say that that was worldwide. They will say, well, there's no evidence for that. No, really, when you are saying that there's evidence for a global wipeout of the dinosaurs, evolutionists are hypocrites. Evolutionists are hypocritical. They are hypocritical. They will say that there is evidence for a global catastrophic event that wiped out the dinosaurs, but they do not want to admit that there was a global flood. A global flood is a natural disaster. It's a travel, event that happened globally. If you're going to say that a global event happened to the dinosaurs, but you're not going to believe that a global flood can happen, I mean, come on. Come on. You got to be joking. You've got to be joking. Lord Jesus, help me. Lord Jesus, help me. I mean, come on. You got to be joking. I don't mean to be yelling and all of that, but I mean, like, let's be real. Let's be real. You cannot say that there was a global event for the dinosaurs, but then say, well, with the flood, there's no, I mean, no, no, no. Like, come on. We know that it is possible that there can be a global wide natural disaster. So I mean, obviously there is room for a global flood to be believed. And that is the point that I'm making here. That you know, we got to stop pulling stuff out of our pockets. You know, um, we got to stop playing around with our imagination. Look at the evidence. um how did that tree bark get down that deep in the ocean. It's impossible, guys, gals, evolutionists. Think about this. It is impossible. That tree bark should not be down there that deep. Think about it. I mean, I don't care what you believe or do not believe. That tree bark should not be there. I don't care what you believe. It shouldn't be there. How did it get there? How did that tree bark get down that deep? That's the question that we need to ask and answer. Come on. Think about it. Duh. A global wide flood happened and waves deposited it there along with rock and other things. I mean, how funny can you evolutionists get? How funny, how many times do I need to laugh at what you evolutionists pull up out of your pockets? Because I mean to tell you, like, how did that get there? You got to think about it. You got to consider, like, we know that flood waters can rip through the earth, right? And we know that waves deposit sand, right? Think about a global flood that, once the flood happened, think about a huge, giant storm in the ocean that is global. You have wave after wave after wave that is going to deposit soil, rock, trees, and tree bark, that deep. I mean, that's the only explanation, is when we look at the flood, we can see that where these waves deposited those tree bark down at 1,000 to 2,000 feet into the ocean. So you evolutionists, I mean, I gotta tell you, like, it's just the things that you pull out of your pocket does not make sense. You got to think of it by logic. You got to use logic. You got to ask the question, how did that tree bark get there? And you cannot say, oh, it over millions of years turned into like coal or something, because look, you cannot get a cat from a dog. Likewise, you cannot get coal from tree bark. It doesn't happen. Now, yes, again, you can get what the forget what it's called now, but ashes. You can get ashes, but how do you get ashes? Do you get ashes when you put a tree bark in water? No. Where do the ashes come from? The ashes come from when you put a tree into a fire. But then those ashes later disappear. They're gone. but you cannot get coal from tree bark. So that's really really what this was. I know this was more of a rant, but obviously, I just wanted to you guys to see um, really that it is comical of what the evolutionists pull out of their back pocket. Um, and, that there really is evidence for the Genesis flood. And I am going to hit the applause button because I do see one thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I do see a person that has stayed on. So I'm going to hit that again, actually. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's awesome. So, God bless. And hopefully, one of these days, well, actually, we do know because God is going to return, right? And when he does, every knee will bow and tongue will confess that he is King of Kings, Lord of Lords. But hopefully, we can win souls. And some of these evolutionists, and I get how it's a spiritual battle. So maybe I did go a little overboard, but like with me being fired up. But hey, you know what? I am fired up for a reason because I mean, I just don't see how, it's like they're pulling things out of their pocket and making it sound true. Well, let me just tell you, well, even I can do that. Even I can just, all I have to do is put a story together of a uh, event that happened millions of years ago and get you to believe it, and that's basically what the evolutionists are doing. And people are believing it, but people aren't just believing it, they're making fun of creationists. They're making fun of Christians for believing in the flood. And that really gets me, my blood boiling, obviously. And so, um, yeah, that's just where my heart is at. I want to defend that. I recently went on a uh, 1 week fishing trip, and I saw that's my moment where I saw that this is something that Lucifer is attacking, that he is going after Genesis and the flood, trying to erase that. And so, excuse me, when I saw that, that opened my eyes, because obviously the person that I'm, fishing with, he believes, um, he doesn't believe in the creation, but and I still, love him dearly. I talk to him. In fact, I talked to him today, just hours before I got on. So again, that's proof that it's not against flesh and blood, that it's spiritual. So what we got to do is we have to pray that evolutionists will get saved and start believing. But I will say, yeah, we also have to get in the argument and we still need to defend Genesis. So we need to do both those things. We need to get in get in there, but also pray for their souls, because their souls are not lost. They're just they're being told lies by demons. Demons are, kind of part of this, that are, getting them to come up with these crazy they pull out of their pockets. So that's all I have. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss another live stream. And sooner or later, because I know I've been doing a lot of live streams, most of the time 2 days, today 3 day or 3 times a day. I do, and that's quite a bit. I do plan to scale back. Now, yes, I say scale back, but then also um, it's scaling back of how many times I get on live, not really how many days. I still plan to get on, every day or almost every day of the week, with a different topic. Um, and I'm going to actually put that in my schedule on my calendar. Um, so on my phone calendar, so it gives me reminders um, when to go live and what topic. So something that I am doing is, for just about every day of the week is going to be like a different topic. Um, that's what I want to do. There's a lot of, I do believe that God given me the gift of knowledge, and because you see that there's so many topics that I am, have knowledge about. So that's the reason why, for those so many different topics on, just about every day of the week. That's all I have for this live stream. I hope you like it. One more time, go check out my book at Amazon. It's there in the link in the chat. Go check that out. That would be helpful. Thanks.